So now I'm going to tell you guys about Japanese honorific suffixes. You know, things like san, chan, kun, things like that. I'm just gonna tell you based on my experiences, like when they were used and when they weren't used and things like that. So they're kind of just like a general guideline, but don't. I'm just gonna teach you guys like not to use them in the wrong situations, or too much, or just the right way to use them. And this is just based off my experience. So your host family might be different in the way they use them. First of all, when I went to my host family, I just called my host sisters Mei and Kurumi. And my host mom, my host sister goes, "You can call her Oka-san, but we call her Oka. But you just call her Oka-san." And I was like, okay. But the grandparents, we called them Oba-chan and Oji-chan, which we added chan to their names. Even though they were older than us, I didn't really think they did that over there, and it depends on the family. That was just the way my host family did it. After I was there for a few days, they started calling me Journey-chan and adding chan to the end of my name. After I was there for maybe 3 days. After about a week or so, my host sisters called me One-chan, and they just called each other, and like my little sister called the older sister Ne-chan, but I never really added chan to their names, and it's not that I wasn't close to them, it was just that I wasn't used to speaking like that. I just called them Kurumi and Mei. And my host sister, her nickname was Kuru, and I didn't even call her Kuru half the time. I'd call her Kurumi because that was just what I was used to. I already had it in my head before I went to meet them. But I just call them by their names. It doesn't necessarily matter. What I will say is, watch for, I wouldn't call them their name and then chan until they start using it on you. So if they don't use it on you, it might be kind of awkward if you're like, "Oh, hey, so-and-so chan." It might make it just kind of awkward. When I went to school, all my friends called me Johnny-chan. So, yeah, pretty much all the people at school call me that. The older people didn't call me chan or anything. When I went to the kindergarten to teach, they called me Bunny One-san. Because my nickname is Bunny, so I was like Big Sister Bunny. I never really used san at the end of someone's name because most of the people I talked to were my age, and that would have been weird. I met a couple of adults, but I hardly ever addressed anyone by their name. That's why I didn't use it as much. Now, kun is where it gets complicated. Now, usually everyone's like, "Oh, boys who are younger than you," right? Well, this is just based on my group of friends and the people I met and the people I live with. I never heard anyone really use that suffix at all, except for my host mom. Now, Sho. Well, my host mom called him Shokun, but my host sister, who'd been friends with him for years, she just called him Sho. And his friend Ibuki, she called Ibuki-chan. She never called Sho-chan or kun or anything, even though he was younger than her, and she's known him for years. He's like a brother for her, but she just called him Sho, so that's what I called him. It would probably be awkward if I called him Shokun, because generally most people that I met used it on their boyfriends, and I've not even little boys. They just called him Little Boy Chan. I hardly ever heard kun used where I was. But again, that's just me and my friends and everything. In anime and manga and stuff, like, I was just reading this anime, and this girl's like meeting all these boys, and she's like, "Jin-kun, na-na-na-kun, blah-blah-blah-kun." Like, no one does that when they first met someone, okay? This is BS, okay? That anime and book is just stupid. Suffixes are always going to be tricky. What I say, if you're unsure of something, just wait till see like what the people around you address them by. If they're like close friends with them, they call them chan. You might just want to call them san. The best bet is, since you're a foreigner, you can probably get away with calling them by their first name, if that's what they tell you to address them by. Usually when you'll introduce to someone, they will say, oh, this is, and then they'll say their name or whatever. You know, you can take that as how to address them. You know, usually they won't say, oh, this is so-and-so chan. And if they did, it's probably not for you to use unless it's like a little kid. Little kids, you know, older kids, you know, unless you're really good friends with them, but little kids you can pretty much get away with adding chan to the end of their name. Sensei, we always called all our teachers so-and-so sensei. But like sama, no one used that. No one ever used that. No one's like, blah blah sama. Like, that's so dramatic, and it's like an anime kind of thing. No one does that. No one was that high above anyone where I was that we had to actually use that.